Let's talk about parts of speech. In English, there are 8 parts of speech, and most of you will be familiar with these words: noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Should you memorize them? Absolutely. If you're going to be a student of grammar, you need to know those words and be very familiar with them, because when we get to the complicated grammar, this is like, being able to add and subtract in math. You need to know the words. All right, so the order that we have them listed here is typically how they're listed in grammar books. I prefer kind of my own organization, and so here's the chart. Please learn it this way and commit it to memory this way, because it helps to understand and memorize things a little better. So what do we have here? You have what I like to call the noun group, because your brain is not capable of memorizing long lists of things. So you should break things down into 3 or 4 things at a time. So when you have a list of 8 things, don't memorize the whole thing as a list. Break it down into smaller groups. You have a noun group, you have a verb group, and you have the others. Okay? The noun group has 3 parts. It has the noun, the pronoun, and the adjective. The noun, of course, is, these are definitions. These are really the basic definitions we learn in elementary school, so you should be very familiar with them. Please learn them and memorize them if you don't know. Noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. So you can say Mr. K as a person, doctor, person, church is a place, joy, peace, perfection. These are the ideal words that also make up nouns. Pronouns are words that take the place of a noun. I, you, he, she, it. These are the personal pronouns that we generally think of. But there are other pronouns like 1, 2, 7. They can be pronouns if you're using them like the subject of a sentence or object of a sentence. Well, words also like that, which, what, these words are also pronouns. Other indefinite pronouns like all, everyone, someone, anyone, these are all pronouns as well. And what they do is they take the place of that noun. Instead of saying what it is, you use the pronoun. The adjective is, let me erase that. Let me reserve this arrow as for modifying. We're going to say that the adjective is a word that modifies the noun or the pronoun. Okay, it's a modifier. It's a word that adds more information to something. So big, red, many, funny. It tells you about like cars: big car, red car, many cars, funny car. Whatever it is that you're using to describe a thing or a person or a place or an idea would be an adjective. All right. So what about the next group? We have the verb group. Verb group is 2 words: verbs or adverbs. All right, we're familiar with verb. Verb is action or state of being. Now, we generally think of the action, but we forget the state of being part. So memorize that. That's all the linking verbs. So in American grammar, we're going to divide the verbs into 2 groups: the action verbs versus the linking verbs. I've noticed that in other countries they think of things differently. Even for English, they analyze English differently into different kinds of verbs. But in English, we'll say action verb or state of being verbs. And we got run, talk, think, be. These are all verbs, right? Adverb is a modifier just like an adjective is. But adverbs, mostly they modify verbs, but they also modify adjectives and adverbs as well. And so you have, let's say you have a verb like run. How do you run? You run slowly, you run carefully, or you run often possibly. Okay? Or if you have a adjective, let's say big, how do you modify it? You with word like very. It's very big, very red, very many. I guess not very many, but very funny. Okay, words like very are cases of words, adverbs modifying adjectives, and with other adjectives, adverbs as well. When you have, say, carefully, how carefully? Quite carefully, very carefully, somewhat carefully. So words that modify other adverbs can also be considered adverbs. So In order to memorize which ones they modify, this is a little helpful. I'm not going to say this is anything ingenious, but if you have them listed this way, the adverb is going to modify the two things above it. Okay, the verb, adjective, and also adverb. So try to get that image in your head. Okay, the adjective modifies the two things above it in the list. The adverb modifies the two things above it in the list and also itself. Preposition is preposition, conjunction, interjection. These are the others. They're kind of minor words. Prepositions are words like in, on, for, from, after, so on. Altogether, I think there are about 60 or so, possibly as many as 100, but I think most lists will give you about 60 common prepositions. These are words that show relationship between two words. In grade school, we say, think of a desk or a table and the mouse in relation to that desk. I'm not much of an artist, so that's my mouse there. The mouse can be under the desk, it can be over the desk, it can go around the desk, it can come from the desk, and it can go to the desk. Those words are your prepositions. Conjunction is the connecting words like and, but, or, either, or. Okay, so most common ones we think of are the three and, but, and or, but there are other kinds of conjunctions as well. Interjection is pretty much useless. It's words like ow, wow, ouch, oh, words that are exclamatory, and its definition is that it shows emotion. It's really unimportant, okay, but you should know the name anyways. The part of speech depends on its use only. Whether the word is a noun or a verb depends on how it's used in the sentence, and that's why if you look up a very simple word like round in the dictionary will give you all different uses depending on the parts of speech. And that's our example here. Let's look at this sentence and see how the word round is used. Our round world, which I shall round once more before I die, spins round and round on its axis, and at the same time making a circle round the sun. That results in the round of the seasons. Okay, same word but used differently. So let's take a look. The first, round the world, is an adjective because it describes the world, what kind of world it is. It's a modifier. The second one, I shall round, sounds like I'm going to do something, right? So this is a verb. It expresses the action. I shall go around. Spins round and round. Well, it spins, and how does it spin? It spins in this manner. This answers the question of how and describes the spins, and that's why it's an adverb modifying spins. Circles round the sun. This is a prepositional phrase here. Where it goes, like the mouse going around the sun. Okay, you can use round as a preposition as the just like the around, you can use that as a preposition as well. Circle round the sun is a preposition. I got confused there for a moment because I said mouse goes around the sun. Actually, what I was thinking was mouse going around the desk, of course. Can't really imagine a mouse traveling around the sun. Number 5, round of the seasons. In this case, it is a noun. It is followed by a prepositional phrase of something. It's got to be something of the seasons, and so you have a noun, round. Okay. And that is it with the exercises. The book that we're using is English Made Simple by Walt Horn. Please purchase the book to follow with the exercises.